Good morning to all my BC final year students. Let us continue with your subject, that is COAS, Computer Oriented Accounting System. In the last video, we learned about some terms or terminology used in accounting. We will continue with that terminology. Last verse we learned about stock. It is the leftover goods in the business. Leftover goods that is in the business, that is known as closing stock. Let us begin with a new terminology, that is asset. Okay. What are these assets? Assets are any physical object or a right which has a monetary value to itself. Any physical object or a right which is owned by a business which has a monetary value to it. Okay. Any physical object or right owned by a business having monetary value. So, physical object means the object which can be seen, which can be touched by us. And the rights means those objects which cannot be seen or cannot be touched by us. Rights, example, copyrights, patents, etc. Those are also the assets of the business, which have a monetary value. Monetary value means having value in terms of money. Having value in terms of money. These are the, we can also say as, these are the resources of a business, economic resources of a business, which gives future benefits. Future benefits or current flow of business. What do you understand by economic resources? Economic resources means such activities which provide us profit or provide us money are known as economic activities. So similarly, economic resources are those resources which provide us money or monetary value of the business, which gives us benefit or current flow of business, gives us benefits of future. These, if having these assets, a business can have the benefits in future. Also, current flow of business can take place with the help of these assets. So, assets are the physical objects which are owned by which a business is having, owned by a business, which have a certain monetary or money value to it. It can be used for future business or the future flow of business or the current flow of business. Okay. Now these assets are categorized into three categories. That is fixed assets, current assets, and fictitious assets. Coming down to the part of fixed assets, what are fixed assets? Fixed assets are assets which are brought by a business or purchased by a business in an ordinary course of business, which are not meant for resale or which are not meant for reselling or converting into cash within a period of 1 year or currently. These are called as fixed assets. Current asset we can categorize into three parts. The three parts are, it is in the form of cash. In the form of cash, it is known as current asset, or it can be converted in the form of cash within a short duration, that is within 1 year. And the third point is that it is used for production purposes, that is known as current assets. What are fictitious assets? These are not any physical assets, physical form, or do not have any realizable value to it. Do not have any realizable value or do not exist in a physical form. It is non-recurring in nature, non-recurring in nature. So these assets are usually example. We can explain this fictitious asset with the use of an example, that is expenses made before beginning of a business. So these type of expenses are non-recurring in nature, which are known as fictitious assets. So we understand the three categories of assets. Then again this fixed asset is divided into two more categories, that is tangible and intangible. Tangible fixed assets and intangible fixed assets. What is tangible fixed assets? Tangible fixed assets are those assets which can be seen and touched by us, which can be feel. Seen and touched, seeing and touching is a part of a feel. So it gives a feel to us, are known as tangible fixed assets. It can be either movable or unmovable. Movable fixed assets or movable tangible fixed assets, examples are, you may say as equipments, and machinery. Now what are intangible assets? Intangible assets are those assets which cannot be seen or touched, but have a certain monetary value to it, have a certain monetary or money-wise value to it. Intangible fixed asset, we can give an example as copyrights, patents, goodwill. These are also the assets of a company, but which cannot be seen or touched, but have a monetary value to the company, which gives an economic resource to the company. And these are the assets, tangible assets, which can be seen or touched, but also have a monetary value. Movable are equipments and machinery, and non-movable will give an example of land and building. Non-movable are land and building. Now, let us begin with the start. Assets, any physical objects, rights owed by a business which have a monetary value to it. It has a three categories, that is fixed asset, current asset and fictitious asset. Fixed assets are purchased not for resale and have an economic value or monetary value for a longer period of time or the longer duration of time, and which are not for resale in the current period. And coming down to the current asset, which have 3 points. It is either in the form of cash or either can be converted into money in a short period of time. Short period of time means within 1 year. And third is point is it is used for the purpose of production. It is used for the purpose of production. Coming down to your fictitious asset. Fictitious assets are those assets which do not have any physical form, are not in the form of realizable value. It is non-recurring in nature and it can be an expense. So these are the fictitious assets. Example of fictitious asset is expenses made from before the beginning of a business. These are the example of fictitious assets. Coming down to the part of fixed assets, these are again divided into 2 categories, that is tangible fixed assets and intangible fixed assets. What are tangible fixed assets? Which can be seen or touched or can have a monetary value to it, which can be seen and touched and having a monetary value to it, that can be movable and unmovable. Movable examples are equipment and machinery, unmovable example are land and building. Now coming down to the intangible fixed asset. What are intangible fixed assets? Intangible fixed assets are those assets which cannot be seen or touched. We cannot cannot see it, we cannot touch it, but it has a certain monetary value or economic resource to our business. Examples are copyrights, patents and rupees, etc. Now coming down to the second terminology. Now what is liability? It is the amount owed by owing or owed by one person to another person, which can be payable in terms of money, goods or services. So we can say liability as amount owing of one person to another, payable in form of money, goods or services. The amount, a certain amount, when it is owed from one person to another, this one person can be a business, an individual, an enterprise, and corporation, anything. And another person can also be an individual, a firm, a business, an enterprise, etc. This certain amount which is owed from one person to another person, this one person, as we learned in the previous video, that owing from one person to another person. So this person we can say as debtor, and this another person we can say as creditor. So owing of money from a debtor to a creditor, which is payable in the form of money, goods or services, is known as liability. Okay. Now this liability is also divided into three categories, that is current liability, fixed liability, or contingent liability. Now what do we understand by current liability? The liability which is payable within a short period of time, or which is payable within one accounting year, that is 12 months, is known as current liability. Current liability are the amount which is owed by one person to another person and which is payable within one accounting year, or a duration of one full accounting year is known as, or a duration of 1 year. Fixed liability, we can also say it as long-term liabilities. Long-term liabilities, long-term, which are payable from more than 1 year. After the 1 year duration, it is payable years and years are coming. Business is a firm which has a capacity of running throughout the year, or throughout year, from year to year. Liabilities which the amount is payable after one accounting year, or the amount is payable after a duration of 1 year, that is known as fixed liabilities. Fixed liabilities can also be named as long-term liabilities. Long-term liabilities. And this current liabilities can also be called as short-term liabilities. Coming to the contingent liability, it is a critical part. So understanding contingent liability is very important. Contingent liability are liabilities which depend on the happening or not happening of an event in the future course of business. In a future course of business, or happening or non-happening of an event, depends on happening non-happening of an event in future course of business. So, upon a happening or non-happening of an event in future, there can be a liability or there cannot be a liability. If such cases are arised, if there is a liability, then that liability is called contingent liability. So, we understood the part of a liability, parts or the definitions of liabilities. What is a liability? Amount which is owed from one person, that is a debtor, to another person, that is a creditor, which is payable in cash, goods or services. Then again, liability is divided into three categories, that is current liability, fixed liability and contingent liability. Current liability, what is this? Current liability is the amount which is payable in a duration of 1 year. Fixed liability is the amount payable in a duration of more than 1 year. Contingent liability depends on the happening or non-happening of an event. That is all about liability. Let us come down to the next topic or next terminology. We all will come around this terminology, very frequent in your accounting subject, that is expense or cost. Now what is this expense or cost? It is a portion of an expenditure. Expense, it is a portion of an expenditure from which we get revenue or profit. It is a portion of an expenditure which is spent by a business to earn revenue or profit. So we can say as portion of expenditure used to earn revenue or profit in current year. In current year, there may be certain expenses which we do, certain expense or cost which we do for bringing up revenue. Example, we can use telephone. Or we can say postage, carriage, cartage. So how is telephone an expense? Obviously, if you are making a call, we use certain amount of money, but these calls may be used for bringing certain amount of money from outside. If a person is owing to the business, we make a telephone call to bring back the money or to ask for the money which is owed by other person to our business. Second is postage, posting of certain letters or documents for the income of our business, for the purpose of the income of our business. Next is carriage and carriage. When there are certain goods or commodities which arise in our business firm, there are people or certain vehicles used to carry those commodities to our business. Those are known as carriage or carriage. These are the small expenses made by the business, but it gives us revenue to the business. It brings profit to the business. So the expense is cost. Expenditure, that is an amount incurred for recurring and non-recurring transactions. There are two words. Amount incurred. Incurred meaning is used for recurring and non-recurring transactions. Now, what do we understand understand by recurring and non-recurring transaction? Recurring transactions are commonly happening or day-to-day happening transactions. Commonly or day-to-day happening transactions. What is non-recurring? Non-recurring are once in a time or happens in a duration of time. Happens in a duration of time or once in a time in a duration of a business. Once in a time or in a vast duration of time. Example of these recurring expenses, or you may say as recurring transactions, that is purchase of goods or products. Whereas non-recurring, you may say as purchase of fixed assets. These happen frequently in a course of business or in a business. These happen once in a while in a business. So expenditure is amount used for recurring and non-recurring transactions in a business. Now these expenditure are divided into three categories. That is, you may say as revenue expenditure, capital expenditure, and deferred revenue expenditure. Expenditure which is an amount used for the day-to-day operations of the business or day-to-day use of the business, or from which the revenue or the income is arrived within 1 year, are known as revenue expenditure. Coming down to the part expenditure are known as, which is used, these are non-recurring in nature. Non-recurring means which happens once in a time or in a vast duration of time, and these capital expenditure are used for the big amount of investment, or you can say big amount of expense, that is purchase of fixed assets, etc. Now coming to deferred revenue expenditure. What is deferred revenue expenditure? These expenditure having both the qualities of capital and revenue expenditure. This can be recurring or non-recurring in nature, which can happen in one accounting year or once in a time or a vast duration of time, are known as deferred revenue expenditure. Coming down to the next topic. Loss. What are these loss? Loss are any unwanted burden which are incurred in a business or which happen in a business which do not generate any revenue or profit to the business. Loss are any burden which is incurred in a business which do not provide any revenue or profit. Okay. So you may be find quite similarity between an expenditure and loss. But there is a difference between an expenditure and loss. Expense and expenditure, they both provide revenue or profit to the business. If the expense is made, there is also revenue in the form in the business. If an expenditure is made, there is also into two types, that is normal loss and abnormal loss. Now, what is normal loss? Normal loss is general loss or normally which can happen in any business is known as normal loss. Normal loss is suppose evaporation of a product. If you are producing perfumes, evaporation of those perfumes is a normal loss for the company. Leakage, evaporation of products is known as normal loss. Now, abnormal loss. What is abnormal loss? Which is not normal or which do not happen in frequent time or in a current time. Frequent time or in a current duration of period, or which have not seen in the business till yet. These are called as abnormal loss. Now, abnormal loss, what it is? It can be natural calamities, floods. It is uncertain and unpredictable. That is, it is abnormal loss. Normal loss are certain and can be predicted. If you are preparing perfumes or your production is of perfumes, then it is mandatory or it is to be understood that perfumes will evaporate. Second thing, abnormal loss, we cannot predict the natural calamities such as floods, earthquakes, etc. So, loss or any burden which occur or incur in a business which do not provide any profit or revenue to the business. It is of two types, that is normal loss and abnormal loss. Normal loss is certain or predictable loss and abnormal loss are uncertain and unpredictable loss. Example is evaporation, leakage, etc. Example is natural calamities, fire, etc. We will come to the next topic. Profit, that is excess of revenue over expenditure. Now, excess of revenue means the revenue, the income coming from the expenditure is, if you have spent 10 rupees and you are getting a benefit of 15 rupees, that is known as profit. If you have spent 10 rupees, that is expenditure, and you are getting a benefit of 15 rupees, that is revenue. So, excess of revenue over expenditure is called as profit. Next, coming down to the next part, that is revenue. What is the revenue? There are some sources applied to a business which generate revenue. The expenses which are made in a business to generate revenue. Revenue are in an ordinary course of business. There are some benefits arises from the expenditure or activities of a business, that is called as revenue. From activities or expenditure, the benefits arise to the business is called revenue. The profit and revenue. Next is gain. Profit of irregular nature. Profit of irregular nature. Now what is gain? Profit. It is a profit, that is excess of revenue over expenditure of irregular nature. Irregular nature means it doesn't happen in an ordinary time or it doesn't happen frequently. That is irregular nature. So profit is normally excess of revenue over expenditure. So if example of it is sale of fixed assets. example of fixed asset, that is plant and machinery, land and building, etc. So if I brought a plant or machinery for 50,000 and I sold it for 70,000. So arising of 20,000 or the amount of 20,000 is known as my gain. So you can say it is an irregular in nature, but it is excess of revenue over expenditure. My expenditure is 50,000, my revenue is 70,000. The profit arises 20,000 is my gain. So coming back to the income. Coming down to the next part, that is income. Income is a similar nature of profit, that is excess of revenue over expenditure. So gain, profit, revenue and income. These all four terms belong to one category which have different meanings. These all belong to one category and belong to one nature, that is a meaning, that is excess of revenue over expenditure, which arise a certain profit to the business, certain gain to the business, certain income to the business and certain revenue to the business. Which are now, what do we understand by the term discount? It is deduction in the price or the payment, during the payment or the price of a product allowed by a business enterprise to its customers is known as discount. Reduction in price or in form of payment provided by business to its customers. So it is a reduction in price or while making a payment, reduction in price or making a payment, during making a payment from the business enterprise to its customers is known as discount. Again, this discount is categorized or divided into two categories, that is trade discount and cash discount. Now, what do you mean by trade discount? Trade discount is the discount allowed by a business enterprise to its customers or the middleman. To its customers or the middleman. Middleman you may say as wholesaler, retailers, then the wholesaler, retailers and customers. Now, cash discount is instant discount during the payment of goods. Instant discount during the payment of goods. That is known as cash discount. Again, discount is reduction in the price or in the form of payment by a business to its customers. And again, it is categorized into two parts, that is trade discount and cash discount. Trade discount, it is a form of discount which is provided during the trade of a goods or commodities to the customers directly or through middlemen, that is wholesalers or retailers. And cash discount is instant discount provided by a business to its customers, direct dealing with the customers. That's all for today's class. We'll learn the next terminology or the next concept in the next class. Thank you.